What's good, guys? What's up, guys? Hope everyone's having a great day today. How's it going, guys? How's it going, Milan? I'm good, man. Thank you for asking. I'm good. I'm good. Actually excited for this week, a lot of news in the markets, NFP, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see what the market does. Welcome, guys. We get started there in 4 or 5 minutes. Just give everyone a chance to hop on the call before you get started. Got a good bit to go through. Hope you're well. I'm good, thank you very much. Would like to see your views on your GP news. Yeah, for sure. I'll cover that. No worries at all. Yeah, covered it all, guys. No worries at all. All right, guys. 3 more minutes. We get started. How's it going, Masana? What's good, Jester? Hopefully everyone is keeping well, guys. What's good, Jordan? What's good? Nice to see new and old faces back on the stream. What do you guys think of my new layout? I changed the colors of my chart. I actually dig this a lot. Like, I think it's sick. Yeah, I actually love it compared to my old white background. I don't think I'll ever go back. Even when like I wake up in the middle of the night to check a trade or whatever, because I just end up waking up sometimes randomly and I check a trade and it hurts your eyes with white background. So I love the black background. Hopefully you got, yeah, my mic's working okay. Want to make sure. What's good, Abe? Hopefully you're keeping well, man. Yeah, it is. It's definitely really, really nice in the eyes. And the colors are sweet. Everything's clean, so I like it. Definitely won't be going back anyways. Alright, guys, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. So let me get started now. Alright, so if you have any questions, guys, whatever it is, just drop in the chat and I'll definitely look, I'll make sure to answer it and stuff like that. But yeah, let's get started. So this week, guys, I'm going to be focusing a lot on USD pairs. A good amount of news coming for USD. Specifically on Friday, we're looking at NFP. Okay, so it's definitely what we can expect potentially just based off historical data. Every single NFP, it's usually slow at the start of the week and then it really starts to pick up. Or sometimes it's okay enough on Monday, Tuesday, it becomes a bit slow Thursday, Wednesday-ish, and then Friday again, boom, big pump. So it really depends. I encourage you, if you're still new, if you're a beginner to the market, maybe take the week off. Just look at how the market moves, because sometimes you do get some volatility, okay? I believe you have some other news events as well. I still haven't checked my calendar, so I'll take a look at that later. But yeah, just definitely be careful for the news events that are potentially coming this week. Now, when it comes to the DXY, okay, so definitely is an index that we like to always go through to check our confirmations with other pairs such as GU, EURUSD, etc. And as you guys can see, DXY has been flying the last week. Okay, we're reaching up to that imbalance that we've been marking out for ages now. Okay, so this is the one right here. You guys can see that we've eventually cleared that high that I was talking about for the past 2 weeks as well. So we've eventually cleared that high. You can see how as it approached that high, just gave a bearish engulfing reaction. This was a manipulation right here. You can see how as you reach an area of highs right here, okay, you can see the manipulation that was occurring right here, but no, price continued up. So this is common manipulation that you'll see, and I go over this sort of manipulation multiple videos, not just on the course, even the YouTube videos that I provide. So this is something that's very basic. Okay, you see this happen all the time. Now, as you can see, we got that push up, very big engulfing candles right here, clear this high. Next thing that I would like to see is this high get cleared and this imbalance to get filled in. These are my kind of short-term goals for next week. I still believe, I still believe that DXY should still be pretty bullish. I still do believe that it should be still pretty bullish, maybe reaching up onto this area and then probably start dropping down. Now, if we're looking at more shorter term, then what we can expect is probably a deeper pullback for the first 2 days of the week. Okay, filling more imbalances. You can see there's a good amount of imbalances here, even as you go up the time frames. You still have a fair bit of imbalance that I would like to get filled in right here. Okay, so I do believe we should be able to get some sort of drop, touch off this, and then go. That is probably going to be my outlook for the week, and I will base all of my trades on this. Now, could be totally wrong, could just continue going up, continue going down, sorry, just shoot up from there. There's multiple scenarios that go, but when it comes to, for me, for example, trying to swing trade or anything like that, I'm not taking my swing position from Monday, because usually that is the trap day. You can practice this yourself. You see that the Monday usually goes in the opposite direction. Then the rest of the week you get that midweek reversal and price goes the opposite direction. So for Monday, because it's a drop day, I'll only probably day trade Monday, catch a trade for a couple of hours. That's about it. I won't be swing. I'll be looking for my swing trades from Tuesday, Wednesday, and then like hold out to maybe Friday. It's a very short term swing. But then obviously if you're swinging for like weeks or months to end, then it doesn't really matter what day you kind of take the trade, because your stop loss is so big anyways. It's pretty much not really going to affect. It's really not going to affect if you take it on a Monday or Tuesday, because the volume either way on a Monday probably isn't that high anyways. But we will see. So with that being said, I'm going to head on to GBPUSD. And this is what we can look for at GBPUSD. So the exact same thing. Now, if I'm looking for DXY to potentially play down in here and then pump up, then what I can expect for GU, is for a push up, fill in the imbalance, institutional candle, and then sell off. Okay, so this is my bias right here. We clearly have gotten that breakout from these three. I don't know if you want to call this a trend line. We just call these relatively equal lows right here. So see 1, 2, 3. Lots of stop losses we're sitting underneath here. Okay, plenty of money. That dollar sign is literally all the way around. Okay, plenty of money sitting below here. As you guys probably heard me say on the Tuesday's Zoom. Okay, we were discussing how we were in basically a range. Okay, we're discussing this range right here. So it was just basically trading in a box. and it was going to be interesting for us to see if we were going to break out to the top or to the bottom, and we've broken out to the bottom. So for me, for now, I'll still be looking for sells until something says otherwise. Yeah, but for now, I'm still going to be continuing to look for sells. Now, we could potentially get a CMT where you get consolidation, manipulation, and then trend to the upside. That could potentially happen. But for now, I'm just going to stick with the sell bias. Yeah, it just makes more sense. But because we're trading, because if you're looking at the monthly, weekly time frame, your bias is not changing that much. But when you're on like the 4 hour, the daily, the 1 hour, your biases change very, very quickly. My bias right now could potentially change on Wednesday or Thursday even, you know, many things could happen. So take this with a grain of salt. Now, fortunately enough, most of my analysis for the weeks have actually been pretty correct, especially discussing the higher time frames. So yeah, I'm not guaranteeing that everything I'm going to call out is going to be correct or anything like that, but a lot of time it has a pretty high success rate. Okay, so you can look back yourselves in the lives and stuff like that, and you can just the proof is there for you. You know what I mean? There's nothing to hide. But yeah, so if we're trying to like maybe look at smaller, yeah, okay, so if we're looking at the smaller time frames, got to pull up the chat as well, so in case any of you guys are asking questions. Where is it? Pull back on DXY this week. Yeah, so pull back, I believe, just till here, till we reach here, and then a push up. As I was saying on GU, lots and lots of imbalances that you can see right here. So I definitely need to see price pump up a bit more into this area here, fill in those imbalances, then potentially trigger our daily institutional candle. I don't know if that lines up with like the 4 hour, and I'll be looking to sell from here. On the Monday, nothing stopping you from trying to buy up until this point. As long as you know what you're doing, no worries at all. So you can buy up until this point and then sell. But if you're looking for a more long-term setup, like if you're taking a look at a daily setup, and you're trying to swing this to make a new lower low, then your best bet would be stop loss above here. This would give you a pretty decent RR. Okay. And you can target this lower low right here. Not much other targets that I would tag right here. Like you can target these lows here, but just make life simpler for yourself. Yes, the RR might not be the best, but it is still a 6-1. So as long as you're above the 3-1, you're pretty much fine. Now what you can do is obviously wait for the reaction on the lower time frame, right? Wait for a reaction on the lower time frame on your trade, and then just wait for a lower time frame institutional candle to form. Okay, and then you can look to get on the setup on the lower time frame, meaning that you'll have a smaller stop loss, keep the same take profit, and yeah, boom, that gives you a much higher risk to reward, just like that. So that depends on what you like to do. If you want to make your life simple and you're still a beginner or whatever it is, then just wait for that daily and sell from here. There's no buy setups that I see personally, so for the Monday I will want to see what happens tomorrow during London session to see if there's any trades or anything like that. Be keeping my eyes on order flow. The Brad will be keeping his eyes on order flow to see if we can even scalp it going up here, or just even intra-trade this, because this should be a really nice buy, because there's just so much imbalances and these act like magnets. Okay, so there's literally no resistance pushing price anywhere here. There's no passive selling coming in at all. There's no reason for sellers to come into the market. This is why buying into an imbalance or selling into an imbalance is usually very high success rate, you know, because this acts like a black hole basically. So this is my analysis on GU for now. Anyways, if you guys do have any other analysis, feel free to send a link in the chat, and I won't hesitate to check it out. GJ, I'm not going to go over GJ. It's the exact same thing. The only thing is, yeah, GJ has been pretty much the exact same thing. The only thing is JPY has been very strong this week. Last week, sorry. This is why JPY has been. Balance move up with GJ. High forms, lower high forms, sultry. Oola. Sweet, man. Sounds good. So yeah, for GJ, what you can do is pretty much the exact same thing. You can look for buys on GJ on the 8-hour time frame. So this is a really nice institutional calendar that got formed. We were actually, excuse me, guys. So we actually tried to buy GJ last week. I know good few if you guys sent that in, and I sent that in as a signal as well. And yeah, that didn't work out. Unfortunately, it actually just licked my stop loss by a small bit. Market was very volatile last week, and that was expected. So sometimes your SLs are gonna end up getting licked if you're trying to be more aggressive and tighter with your stops, which is basically the way I do it. For me, yeah, you can potentially have your stop losses as well below the wick, but for me, I'm more aggressive with my stops, which unfortunately in this scenario would have stopped me out, whereas someone that would have had it underneath the wick would have kept them in. But for me, that is a difference of nearly 10 pips, and that would double my profits. If I took that trade and it won, it would double my profits, whereas if I had my stop loss right here, it would be 50% less. So this is why risk reward is so important, and I'd rather go aggressive because I know it doesn't matter, the next higher risk reward trade will make up for enemies even if I lost that 10 pips right there, so that 1%. And that take profit right there was here, I believe, because we had some sort of institutional candle. Yeah, so we were looking at this institutional candle. Now I know a few people tried to sell from here. Okay, I remember a few people were trying to sell from here, and I specifically said don't sell from this area. As you can see, price failed to, like, price obviously has reached an area where there's been multiple reactions before. Okay, multiple reactions. You retailer, you can call this as support simply. Okay, so this is a support. Now there's obviously, yes, there's a lot of liquidity down below here, and eventually you want this to get cleared, but the fact that we got that reaction right here, okay, we got that reaction, and then we go up and we engulf on the 8 hour time frame, we engulf, bullish engulfing candle, we take out lows, okay, we take out the liquidity that was sitting right below this low right here, okay, and then we get that bullish engulfing candle, large wick. So we got that basically an institutional candle form right here, and it was fundamentally very strong. You see, as we approached that 4 hour institutional candle, those candles were not getting any smaller. It just shows that there was no interest. There was no interest for the buyers to start taking profit right here and the sellers to start getting into the market. There was none at all. Yes, once we reached that institutional candle right up at this level, yes, there was a lot of indecision, but it was just obvious from these candles they were just getting bigger and bigger. What you want to see is candles getting smaller as you approach that institutional candle. But yeah, there's multiple liquidity like right above here that got created on Friday. Either way, like Friday, you don't want to really trade it after the first few hours of NY because volume really just starts slowing down. So yeah, my next move on GJ would be to look for a buy here, and then I would look for a sell somewhere up here. Okay, because I still want to target these lows eventually. I do believe that this will eventually get cleared out. Overall bias on, like, for example, the weekly time frame is still bearish, right? We haven't broken any structure to the upside. So yeah, it's just been making a crazy amount of liquidity, and I really do see this liquidity getting cleared sooner rather than later. So I will not be surprised if we get another bearish week. See, on a weekly time frame, look what you have right here. You have this bearish engulfing candle, you have a continuation candle. What can this be? This could be a potential weekly continuation candle setup, where you get the next candle open up first 2 days of the week, play right into the open of the continuation candle, and then boom, play down right here. And you can even see this even with GU, probably the same thing that will occur, and NFP will definitely give it that push that it needs for GU. So yeah, this is definitely my analysis for the week, but we will see. As I said, anything could potentially change. But when it comes to the higher time frames, it's really easy to predict once you understand where the points of interest are. Once you understand, you don't even need to understand the fundamentals to a crazy amount, to like a very high level. Just as long as you have a basic understanding, honestly, you should be fine. Okay, so this is my analysis on GJ. Gold, yeah, I'll go over gold there in a second, guys. I was trading that actively as well last week. Caught a sweet buy actually. So yeah, I'll go over gold in a second. No worries at all. If you haven't already as well, guys, please drop a like on the video or on the stream. Definitely be appreciated. As well as that, if you haven't already, make sure to head down to the description. The first link is the free Discord group. Make sure to send your analysis into the chat for the week, and yeah, learn from everybody there. Some very knowledgeable people in that free Discord group. So 100% definitely recommend you to join up. So EU pretty much the same, lot of imbalance right here. You can still expect more downside. euro is very, very weak recently, and there's even much more liquidity that we want to see filled in here. And if you go back on my old live streams, what point of interest have I been calling for weeks now, even months? This, and now it's finally playing into it. So it's a thing, as I said, where when you start understanding these higher time frame points of interest, if you understand higher time frame market structure, lower time frame market structure should become so easy for you, and you should be able to really understand if you're looking for buys or sells very, very easily. And yeah, we're eventually getting that imbalance filled soon, and then you can probably expect some sort of reaction. The pullback would probably start occurring here, play up into this institutional and even down if we want to continue down, or we could potentially now continue up, because monthly time frame tells us we are still pretty bullish, right? Still pretty bullish on the monthly time frame. And don't forget that this is a new month. So our new month opened 3 days ago, opened on a Friday. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty strong month as well, I believe. So what you can expect is maybe an imbalance fill, just a wick down, and then even a bullish engulfing candle. That could potentially be on the cards. But we will see. I want to see what price does first of all when it reacts. I don't like to look too deep into my analysis, because I make actions based off what I see in the market at that current time. You know, it's definitely good to predict, but it's better to react when you're trading. You know, rather than just think of what if. All right, I'm not really going to go over USD CHF. All I can say though is, if you are looking to sell, there is a potential 2-hour institutional candle. So if that lines up with your bias, here's a point of interest that you potentially could be interested in. Just keep that in mind, as well as that we have fair amount of liquidity sitting underneath these lows. So that is an area that you might be looking at. EJ, not really interested in this week. UCAD, this could be potentially interesting. Is it? I can't remember if this was the IC that I was looking at on USD CAD or not. I don't know if it was USD CAD. I think it was this 2-hour one, I believe. Yeah, so potentially you could be looking for buys from here. Okay, because remember what our analysis was. Play a small bit down to DXY. See how I'm always referring to DXY? You want to make sure that like you're not selling USD CHF and buying USD CAD, because they're positively correlated. So if you're doing one thing for the other, you can't do the opposite. You have to make sure that all your trades align, or else you go up $1, you're going to be minus $1 on the other trade, you know. So yeah, USD CAD. So this could potentially be a very interesting buy as well, which would actually give you a really nice first order here. So an 11-1. This is actually a fairly nice looking setup that I would look to try and get into at the start of the week as well. Okay, lines up beautifully with the 88.6 on the fib right here. Nice institutional candle, nice clearance of liquidity there, and even there. Okay, so you can see multiple liquidity got cleared. Large up move after the institutional candle was created. Okay, and then now we want to come back, mitigate this institutional candle from the open, and then we look to trigger our buy setup, and we target this high, and this high. Plenty of liquidity to target up there. So that's a very simple setup. As I said, guys, with these forecasts, I don't like to go too deep into every single pair. It's just simply a forecast, because if I was trying to go deep in every single pair, it would just take me the whole day. Whereas I leave that more for like the Tuesday Zoom instead, go deeper into trades, etc. All right, UJ. No, I'm not really interested. If I discuss USD CAD, then UJ is pretty much going to be similar. So I'm not going to go over the same thing twice. UDSD, probably same thing. You'd be looking to sell from this 2-hour. All I can say is this week has plenty of opportunities. Just make sure the mistake that you don't make is set too many limits. Just wait to see how price reacts as it nears your institutional candle and as it triggers it, and then base your decision off that. One of the best confirmations is using order flow. Once your trade triggers, once it reaches that point of interest, look at the order flow. Do you notice exhaustion when price reaches that area? Do you see the seller's trap occur? Sorry, a buyer's trap occur. All these different things can really tell you if price is going to go in your direction or not. But if you're looking to sell here, once again, opposite of USD CAD, you can see it looks pretty much the same, in fact. But yeah, that's going to give you, I believe, even similar. Oh yeah, this is the wrong thing. Probably even a similar risk to reward, I believe. So we, yeah, so as you can see, pretty much the exact same risk to reward. This is just the opposite setup. Now, here's the thing. If you are going to buy that USD CAD setup, then if you want to get this into this as well, get only in by 0.5%, because most of the time, if USD CAD is going to be hit, the stop loss, then AUDSC is most likely going to be smacked out of that position as well, because they're both, okay, USD is on both of them. Okay, so this is against the USD. One is the base currency, and one is the quote. So, you know, you're basically getting into the same trade twice, just opposite direction. So this is something that you want to avoid. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to go the exact same. They're going to be 100% negatively correlated, but you're going to see a pattern if you even compare it. It won't be the exact same moves, but it's pretty similar. All right, let's move to gold. This is the pair that everyone likes to look at because it's the pair that makes everyone money. 6 hour. Got a nice setup off the 6 hour. Sent this to you guys as well. Still holding. Take profit is actually nearing. So I believe my stop loss was here. Take profit was here. So this is only a 3-to-1, but still a fairly nice trade. See the double top right here. I believe that this will get cleared 100%. But longer term, I believe that now we can sell gold from this 2 hour I see. And I think now we can sell off. I still see more downside on gold. Yeah, 100%. And October is historically weak when it comes to it. So I want to see more downside on gold. Filling imbalances in right here. Just like so. Imbalances right here. Just potential institutional candle that could get a reaction. So yeah, there's a potential institutional candle that could get a reaction. If you grab your fib as well, I believe this lines up nicely in the premium zone. So overall, this is a pretty sweet sell. This acts as a secondary institutional candle coming from this initial one that you could have sold off right here. So that was a beautiful, beautiful sell that I remember we got into as well like 2 weeks ago. Kind of remember. Yeah, 2 weeks ago. So that was a really, really nice sell right there. And this becomes a secondary institutional candle. So this should work out as well. This will actually be a really, really nice setup to play into actually tomorrow. If you get a big push up leading up to London, smack those highs, play into the institutional candle. Nice imbalance right here. This is probably even textbook setup. Even the market structure lines up beautifully. As you can see, we're in a bearish trend down. So overall, this is a pretty nice setup that I would potentially look at as well. Only thing is that institutional candle is pretty big. So yeah, your sell is going to be much bigger. There's multiple ways to decrease it. I'm not really going to bother showing you right now. But there's definitely ways to increase it. Either way though, if you actually aim for this double bottom here, you'll still end up getting like a 7-to-1 or towards. So it's not bad realistically. Still pretty good. But it's a 70 pip stop loss. I want to make a bit more on that trade, so I will definitely try and decrease that stop loss maybe from like a lower time frame play. All right, give me a second there, guys. Just gonna take a quick drink of water. All right, guys. So Bitcoin's actually been moving beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I believe that for the last basically Q4 that we definitely should be aiming this high, this high, this high. We could potentially even reach all-time high by the end of the year. It's very, very possible. But yeah, overall, Bitcoin since that move down, when we're looking at relative time frame, it was expected that we are going to react off here. Okay, I believe there was some sort of institutional candle here on the higher time frame, and then overall kind of accumulated right here, made a push up, broke structure, retest, and then just making a higher high, pull back, and now we should see another higher high. It's just either way, I don't really analyze too deep into Bitcoin because it's a thing where I don't really trade Bitcoin, just buy and hold really. And that's that. I don't care if it goes down now or it goes up here. It's all about the long-term perspective on Bitcoin. And at the end of the day, I'm more of a Forex trader than like a big crypto trader. So I don't tend to look at these that much. I only just watch it out of interest to see how like price forms and stuff like that, and see price action, because I know it's very, very volatile. So it is interesting to see for sure. Thanks for the gold idea, mentor. No worries, man. No worries at all. You're welcome. Euro GBP. Yeah. So a couple of you were looking at Euro GBP as well. I remember in the chat. Euro GBP. You know what? Euro GBP could actually work for the buy. I take it back. Overall, still bullish. Yeah. Overall, still pretty bullish. What's fast doesn't last. I did take an unreal sell off of this right here. So you guys remember, I took a beautiful, beautiful sell off of this right here. And yeah, I took profit when it reached this imbalance. So I took profit just around here. So that was a pretty nice trade for me to end my Friday. And then you could potentially look for some sort of buy in here. For me, I don't really like these candles right here. Very, very small wicks. And that's what I don't like. When it comes to an institutional candle, an FU candle, I like to see a big move, a big clearance on liquidity. Now, yes, we do have that double bottom getting cleared and that big push up move, fair enough. But when you look at it in a bit of a wider perspective, you find that we now have more even equal lows. See right here. So we have more equal lows right here, and then we have another institutional candle, which does it look better? Yeah, so we have another institutional candle that looks better right here. So I will avoid to buy from here, and this is what I was saying to the guys. I will avoid to look to buy from here because just below that institutional candle, there's literally double bottom. Sorry, not even double bottom. This is like equal lows, like multiple equal lows. See multiple wicks, and I will look to buy instead from this institutional candle. This looks much cleaner. Okay, much cleaner. So this is the area I will look potentially to buy from. So I'll skip this one up here and I'll look to buy from here. And then I can just target here. If I'm looking to swing that, beautiful 11 to 1 risk to reward. Lines up with the fib. 88.6, beautiful level. And yeah, that is my analysis on your GBP. I mean, I only trade crypto. Doesn't really matter. These concepts apply for everything, any market that's manipulated. So it applies to crypto as well. I mean, I took a nice buy on crypto as well before, like 2 weeks ago, last week, trading smart money. So it's all pretty much the same thing. All right. Do you guys have any questions? Anything else that you guys would like me to cover? As I said, guys, make sure to drop a like on the video. Also, make sure to check out my recent video. I believe that I discussed institutional cons in that, so that would definitely help a lot of you guys having issues with it, because I try to simplify it as much as possible. So I believe you guys will definitely gain some value from that as well. And don't forget to join the free Discord in the chat below. If you haven't already as well, guys, I don't know, some of you guys might have missed it, but make sure to download our new app. Yeah, on the App Store and Google Play Store. So make sure to download that, and you can get access to the tools for free. You can get access to our free beginners course. You can get access to our signals report section to see how we're doing over the weeks, etc. So yeah, is this technical analysis? It is indeed. Technical analysis is when you're basically looking at like historical data in the charts and you're trying to find patterns, etc. Fundamental analysis is when you're looking at like economics, you're looking at news events, data, etc. That's the difference between the two. Any more questions, guys? No, I'm gonna leave you guys here. All right, sweet. With black magic. Yeah, you got your voodoo on me. All right, guys. So I believe I'll leave you guys here. I appreciate everyone for hopping on. I hope everyone has a blessed, successful week. And yeah, with that being said, if you guys have any questions, anything that you need, just make sure to reach out to me, Telegram, Discord, wherever it is, and I'll be sure to get back to you ASAP. Have a good week, everyone, and have a good night. Bye bye.